Hey guys, today I'm going to be talking about Rumble by Ellen Hopkins. If you didn't know already, Rumble is the Booksplosion Book of the Month, and we will be having a live show discussion on Pullin' Bananas Books channel on October 4th at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I really think that we're going to be having some interesting discussion on this book, so you're definitely going to want to pick it up and join us. This is my third Ellen Hopkins book that I've read, so I'm pretty used to her writing style, but if you've never picked up an Ellen Hopkins book and looked at it, she writes in free verse. Look at the free verse, it's so cool. Woo! Done. We're done with the book. We finished it. It was so fast. And it really makes the book hard to put down because of the way it flows together. Like, you can just sit down and probably read this book in one sitting because of how fast you just go through it. One of the things that I love about Ellen Hopkins books is that she takes these really hard-hitting issues and she doesn't beat around the bush or shy away from showcasing how these different issues affect different people. Her books can be very sad, but they're very honest, and they bring up issues that people need to be aware of. With this book, we focus on suicide, religion, and broken families. In this book, we follow Matthew and his family who are struggling to cope with the loss of Matthew's brother, Luke. I feel like this book was marketed to be religious heavy. Even the book cover kind of hints at this idea of it being religious heavy with it being a stained glass window, because most churches have stained glass windows. But the main character doesn't even step into a church in this book, and even the description on Goodreads starts out with, "Can an atheist be saved?" But I never feel like there's a point in this book where the main character is seeking to find a relationship with God. The only real religious aspect in this book are the characters surrounding the main character. He does have several interactions with Christians, and even his girlfriend is a Christian in this book. It felt to me we only saw this very negative side of Christianity, and yes, there are definitely people out there who are like the ones in this book. I just kind of wish that we would have gotten to see another side of Christianity because we see this very negative side of it, so I wish we would have also had a more positive side of it, because not all Christians act the way that they do in this book. Yes, there are Christians out there like this, but there's also Christians who are completely opposite to the ones in this book. Something that I really loved about this book, though, were the characters. Ellen Hopkins has this way of creating such realistic characters, and you're on this journey with them. You're facing each struggle alongside them, and you're rooting for them. I'll be honest though, at first I was kind of unsure as to how I felt about each character, but then I got to the end of the book and I just kept wanting more. I wanted more of Matthew, and more of Alexa, and more of Uncle Jesse. I actually think it would be really interesting to have a sequel to this book, especially after a certain event that takes place at the end of this book. I think it'd be really interesting to see what Matthew's journey looks like and how this thing that happens at the end affects his life. And I'm wondering if we are going to get a sequel. Ellen Hopkins, if you're watching this, can you please give me a sequel? Because I'd like to have more of Matthew and Alexa and Uncle Jesse. That would be something that I would quite enjoy. So if you're up for writing a sequel, you should do it. Overall, I really enjoyed this book, and if you have not read a book by Ellen Hopkins, I would highly suggest reading one of her books because they're just so interesting to read. The format of the book is really interesting, and just the messages that she puts within her books are things that people need to be aware of. So let me know down below if you've read Rumble and what your thoughts were on it, or if you plan to read it. I want to thank Simon & Schuster for helping sponsor this video, and I will see you guys soon with a new video. Later. I feel like this book was marketed to... No! So if you've read